reefer madness reality.
Marijuana is the most helpful herb there is.
Appetite stimulation,
Sedative and hypnotic,
pain relief,
depression, anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorders.
Most people are using it for medical purposes.
This is not a medical proposition. This is the legalization of drugs that we're concerned about.
It started in San Francisco. This has been a free-thinking city for half a century. It's no surprise the ballot initiative to legalise marijuana for medical use came from here. Or that 70% of San Francisco's voters supported it. The new law makes it legal to possess, smoke and even grow marijuana in California if you have a doctor's recommendation.
I like to be able to come out here and play, but I have chronic back pain. Marijuana relieves that. My doctor says, no problem. As long as you can secure it, just go for it. And that's what my doctor says. So we're just waiting for the rest of America to catch up.
Clinically, I've seen very good uses for medical marijuana in certain people, mainly for control of nausea and appetite stimulation when other medications fail. I also occasionally use it for adjunctive pain relief or for people with paralysis and spasm of their legs.
This is just a sham. It's a fraud. They are pretending that the issue is medical, and they are pretending that the issue is compassion. But what it really is dope. They want to smoke dope, and they want to have a license to do it.
How soon before we open the doors?
Go ahead and open.
These people do have a license to smoke dope.
Hi. Thanks. I'm here to get my card.
Okay, can you go to the counter at the front?
Sure can.
Every person has to show me either a card of membership, a picture ID, and a doctor's note before they can enter here. Before that, those stages are completed, nobody can purchase, nobody can come in here off the street. It is completely done by talking to the doctors themselves, them verifying, and then they become a member. Then they can come up and we'll serve them their medicine.
There you go, bro. Thank you very much.
Well, sell them their medicine, actually. Here you can buy marijuana of many differing strengths and grades, most of it purchased wholesale on the black market and resold legally.
Mexican weed, $5 and $15 of, you want double A or a single A?
What's the difference in a single and a double?
I would go, if you're getting $15 worth, I'd get the single, just so you get a little more.
Okay, thank you.
The San Francisco Cannabis Buyers Co-operative looks much more like a cafe than a clinic. It opens twice a day for 2-hour sessions like this.
Want some good old hemp marijuana here. There you go. I can't handle it, it's too much. I can't control it.
Pure THC produces really extraordinary hallucinations, which, you know, people that are dying, that's a good painkiller, I think.
My medicine.
Widespread coverage of these joyful binges has horrified prohibitionists who are still trying to come to terms with the new law.
They flew under the flag of compassion. Bad guys like me, prohibitionists, are depriving them of these medicines that'll make them more comfortable in their final moments on this earth. Well, of course, that argument has almost nothing to do with what happened in California. You go to the buyers' clubs, it's not full of people who are at death's door.
Perhaps not at death's door, But whether for therapeutic or social reasons, there were a lot of people here suffering from serious illnesses.
Yeah, I have hypertension, severe manic depression, HIV positive, and I really didn't want to say that. And it helps for all these things. Manic depression especially.
Are you here to get some marijuana?
Yes, I am.
What do you do with it?
I smoke it some, I cook with it some.
What does it do for you?
I have arthritis all here, and
why do you have the oxygen?
I have emphysema too.
You've got emphysema.
And I'm manic depressive and agoraphobic. All of those are covered quite a bit by pot.
It helps for all of that?
Yeah.
Does it help for emphysema?
Well, I would be smoking cigarettes anyway.
I have so many different kinds of pills to take a day. They make me sick. I can't keep them down, so my alternative is marijuana.
What sort of cancer do you have, if you don't mind me?
Stomach cancer.
We're gonna get you, honey. She's got you already.
Dennis Peron is the founder of the cooperative.
Sure, coming up.
More importantly, he was the co-author of Proposition 215.
$10. Let me get you change.
It's a situation replete with irony.
Good pot?
Ooh. For the man who wrote the new law has been a marijuana dealer for 26 years, for which he's been arrested 15 times and spent 2 years in jail.
It's 50.
Okay, you got it, you got it.
Humorists here call him the Mother Teresa of medical marijuana.
Marijuana heals, right? Heal.
Heal?
Yeah.
They always push you when they say heal,
walk.
right?
I can walk.
I was blind, now I can see.
I can talk. I hear you, Father Peron. I hear you.
You mean you were blind and deaf, and now you're not? It's a miracle.
The scientists who are dedicated to the welfare of people with cancer or multiple sclerosis or AIDS have no interest in smoked marijuana as a medicine. It looks to them like voodoo. It has no interest whatsoever. They are forced to do research on it by the political process.
And I think you have to stay very forceful about this.
Dennis Peron proved to be a master of the political process during the tough campaign for Proposition 215 last year.
We have to let them know that we will sue them if they come and bust our marijuana for medical purposes, that's being grown legally for medical purposes, that we will sue. And on your press release...
Now people from across the state come to him for advice on how to set up their own buyers clubs.
How do you have to have a doctor's prescription or a recommendation, or can you merely just bring your diagnosis in?
You bring your letters of diagnosis. For cancer and AIDS, it's automatic. For other ones, you have to call the doctor and say, I have your patient here. Do you mind if they join my club?
And what if he says no?
They can't join. Well, they have to get a new doctor.
If the doctor says no, then you can't let them in.
Gotcha.
Can you go out of town and get a doctor? Like,
you can go anywhere you want. Go to Holland if you want to get a doctor in Holland.
A person can come in and say, I'm just stressed out and I want to smoke marijuana, and if his doctor says, yeah, he's not stressed, okay.
I got a hangnail.
Okay, anything the doctor will say yes.
Yeah.
The image of these people at these buyers clubs is not appealing to the average person in California, I do not believe. They had no idea that Proposition 215 was the camel's nose under the tent for legalization of marijuana.
Marijuana was made illegal in the United States in 1937 after a national campaign that included Reefer Madness, the first anti-drug film of its kind.
And more vicious, more deadly is the menace of marijuana.
John Hudson is known as Dr. John to his patients. As one might guess, he has no medical qualifications, but he is an expert in the cultivation of marijuana.
I have to play doctor because I'm more familiar with the plant than most of the people that come in here.
He's one of the growers who intends to expand his production.
How many plants do you have here right now?
Oh, I would say 350. In fact, I'm probably pushing the limits, so to speak, according to the federal standards, but the state people will leave me alone. because I'm doing it for medical purposes only.
Go, Granny, go. 1, 2, 3. Have a little puff. I'm sure you'll feel better soon.
As the debate over medical marijuana has gone national, unlikely advocates of the drug, like 74-year-old grandmother Hazel Rodge, have become instant media celebrities.
Medical marijuana.
Last Thursday, they were at my apartment for 5 hours, arranging the lights and one thing and another.
A beautiful color likeness of Hazel.
Hazel Rodge has glaucoma, for which she takes conventional medicines, and marijuana.
You know something? I'm not doing it just for medical reasons. I used to drink alcohol, and I like the effects of alcohol, but no more. I don't like the effects of alcohol at all. It's a downer. This is not a downer. This is quite different. So I use it for glaucoma. I use it for the stress in my life. I've had breast cancer. I've got diabetes, arthritis. Lots of stress. Arthritis has pain involved too. And marijuana helps in every way. It has improved my life about 100% in the last 3 years. To all who hear these words, we are children of this world. Neighborhoods are great and small. Bless the ones who hear this call.
This piano-playing, hymn-singing, dope-smoking granny has helped to break down some of the preconceptions about what sort of people are using marijuana for medical reasons.
Our sisters are in every land too.
But opponents say the public is being hoodwinked.
They may be able to roll out some people in wheelchairs to start with, but watch where this goes, because this initiative has no restrictions on it for seriously ill people whatsoever. It can be anything. It can be for headaches. It can be for a teenager who's unhappy about an examination. It could be anything at all.
Fascinating substance, and it has been right from the start, and one of the things that attracted many of us.
In order to stave off the impending confrontation with Californian doctors, the National Institute of Health convened an urgent meeting of medical experts in Washington.
Young scientist here doing the best that he can not to inhale this marijuana smoke.
The 8-member panel heard presentations from scientists who'd conducted past marijuana studies.
It's profound, it's rapid, it's dose-related, it's time-related.
But pro-marijuana activists in the audience had already decided not to trust the panel.
No doctors who support medical marijuana, who have advocated it, are speaking on the panel today, nor are any patients.
Hey, we're not your enemies, but this is a science meeting.
In the late 1960s, Harrison...
You're not recognized. The gentleman in the panel is.
In the end, the panel of scientists decided marijuana does show promise for some medical conditions, and that new studies of the drug should quickly go ahead.
Today's conference is a real victory for the vote.
But the demonstrators accused the Institute of stalling to stop freer availability of the drug now.
For years, the science on medical marijuana has been ignored. Right now, we have kicked open the door, and the scientists are beginning to grapple with this.
But in California, some doctors, like Steve O'Brien, have decided not to wait for more studies.
I see only AIDS patients, and my patient population is very advanced. People tend to be very, very ill, and marijuana is very effective for certain people.
It's a little sweet back.
Now O'Brien has joined a group of his colleagues in a lawsuit, suing the federal government for its attempts to target doctors.
Right after the California law was passed, the federal government convened a panel and came down with some very, very harsh restrictions for physicians, saying that if I even talk about medical marijuana in my practice, that they could pull my license. They don't want to attack the patients because that's not politically correct. They can't close down the cannabis buyers clubs because they've tried that and they've failed, and so they're going with what they feel can be the best option, which is attacking the physicians.
California's Congress is in the state capital, Sacramento.
People come here from all over the world. You can go on a cruise trip in the Mediterranean and a doctor can prescribe, basic medications and nobody asks any questions, and you do it right in a bar.
Dennis Peron and his cohorts have come here today as lobbyists, but not without a strong dose of medical marijuana.
Now you see why we have to smoke all this pot while we're out here lobbying. Surprised.
Okay, where do we want to go next? Let's just go one more.
That's an orange tree.
Oh, yeah?
And he did do it. He did cut it by $1.5 million.
They want the politicians to stop state funding for the marijuana eradication program, to force the police to leave growers alone.
Just think about it. That is a 20-foot door.
Solid redwood, your own planks.
What a door, huh?
Yeah.
Yikes.
From my point of view, it'd be great for marijuana to cease to be a controlled substance, that everybody smoke it all the time, because the more that happened, the more there would be a social reaction to it. That would end the argument. All these people have to do is win for me to win. The more I win and keep them at bay, they keep going. I am interested in their winning. Go for it. Everybody in California smoke dope, you know, and watch what happens.
Well, since we're doing the Senate, maybe we should do Senator John Vasconcellos now.
So much has changed in California since Proposition 215 that the old drug dealer Dennis Peron can now command an audience with the wheelers and dealers in Congress.
Yeah, Jesse is going to carry on our work in San Jose.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Great.
in the clubs.
Almost single-handedly, Peron has put marijuana on the political front burner.
I'll take a look at it.
His opponents say he's just exploiting the medical loophole to bring about full legalization.
And in fact, marijuana is a very mild drug, and they're thinking that it's something else. And by going on that premise, they know what's best for you.
Dennis Peron's main agenda is to see all marijuana laws go up in smoke.
Well, I think there's a lot of hypocrisy. I think we got to go outside and smoke a fatty.
Yeah, that's a brilliant. Let's do
Sound
it.
like a good idea?
Consensus, and then we'll come back and do some more lobbying.
A lot of hypocrisy. Let's go on.
But it's unlikely mainstream America is ready for that.
This was the oldest part of the Senate. Assembly for 2 years.
Side all the way through. So